Hi and welcome back. Sorry it's early, so I'm kind of like quiet because I haven't been speaking yet. I'm doing a get to know me tag today while I'm getting ready for work. So I'm just kind of gonna answer some questions while I basically just do my makeup. So I'm just gonna get started. I'm just doing some Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Primer underneath. So the first question, where did you grow up? And I grew up in Sweden in a little town basically half an hour outside of Kalmar. And where do you currently live? I live where I have always lived, and I live in Sweden at the same place where I grew up, and I haven't moved from there yet. How tall are you? I am not tall. Is a good way to describe it. I am 160 centimeters. What year were you born? I was born in 1999. I'm just mixing my foundation on the back of my hand. No, so I'm still one of the 90s kids, even though I was at the very late edge of it. But I almost got a full year. What is your favorite drink? I mean, you're wearing perfume. What scent is it? I'm not usually, because my dad is allergic to any type of scent, basically. Anything that's scented is a no-go, so I usually just wear perfume whenever either he's not home or I'm going out. So I usually don't, but the one I do wear is when I do wear a scent, it's one of the Joe Malone wood sage and sea salt, or mimosa and cardamom. Those two I can wear both together or on their own, and that's fine, but I don't wear them a lot. Oh yeah, I did. See, no, that's not gonna work. That is not going to work. I mixed it too dark. Putting some more light in there, and then we make it work with concealer because I don't have time for this. Tea or coffee? I don't drink coffee at all. And tea I can drink sometimes, so I would probably say tea, but I'm not a huge fan of tea either. What sports do you play or have played? I mean, I've danced for most of my life, and I played football for a practice and a game. So I quit when I was on top. I played goalie in one game, and then I didn't go back. And that is where my career ended. I guess it just wasn't for me. What is your favorite movie? That's so hard. Like, I feel like picking a favorite movie or a favorite song is like one of the most stressful things. And I don't know why. I don't like it because there's so many good movies and there's so many good like songs and stuff. So I feel like I'm probably just gonna ignore the question. I feel like it's just kind of like impossible to choose. I also don't have any movies that are kind of popping off in my head at the moment. Do you speak any languages, and how well? I mean, I speak Swedish. Like, that's my first language. That's what I was born with. That's what I've spoken my entire life. So I speak that, I would hope, really well. And I speak English fluently. And I would say that I could probably put a sentence together in Spanish. Are you single or taken? I mean, I am single. I'm definitely not taken. I'm not sure how that would matter to any of you, but what is your go-to hairstyle? I would probably say that if I'm not wearing my hair curly, I usually just put it up. Like, I like my hair out of my face for most of the time, but I feel like I look the best when I have my hair down. So I'm not sure if I have one, but I probably do wear like a ponytail the most. How many siblings do you have? I have one sister. Do you use PC or a Mac? I use a Mac. What's your most memorable vacation memory? That's tough, you know. I don't know. I feel like when we went to Disneyland was probably like one of them. But oh yeah, me and my grandma got run over by a bike. That's pretty memorable. Like, there was an ambulance. We had to talk to the police. In England, we were walking in one of the big parks. I don't remember which one of them it was, but it was one of them. I'm gonna try to use the little one. I haven't used it in a while and I feel like I'm wasting it. No, but me and my grandma, she took me on a vacation to England, which like I'm incredibly grateful for. Like having those memories with her is amazing. Like I will cherish them forever. No, and I feel like a lot of people feel that way, but like my grandma is one of the best people on this earth. I do not even kid you. Like no one cannot love that woman. She's like the best thing that could ever happen. But we went to England. It feels so long ago now, but she took me to England and we were walking down the park, and out of nowhere comes this guy on a bike and he tries to like he's going way too fast, and so he can't brake, and it's just a hand brake if I remember correctly. So he couldn't brake and he tried to brake, so he kind of bumps into me. So I kind of like get pulled back, but he like the steering and everything, like because my grandma didn't see him. I don't think she saw him coming, and he like the front of the like wheel hits her and she goes flying, and like she lands, and like the panic in my heart, like I was so worried that I mean it's funny now, but at the time it's so worrying. Like she was in the air. Like she went airborne. And then like the people there kind of helped, and somebody eventually like called an ambulance, and so we did they did a checkup basically, and they kind of just checked that everything was fine and that she wasn't like hurt. She was a little bit hurt, but not like, she's tough as nails. Like she wasn't gonna say anything. Like she was in the air. I remember that part extremely clearly, but then we were in an ambulance. We answered questions by the police and basically like left a statement, like why we had to call it, like what happened. And then we went back to the hotel and basically iced her hip because like it was a pretty like big fall. No one comes close to her amount of like will and strength. Like if she wants something to happen, it happens. But that's probably like one of the most memorable things that has ever happened, like because I remember that clear as day, because it's like funny now that we know that everything eventually like turned out fine. It wasn't funny at the time. It was just like, what the frick did just happen? We just got run over by a bike. It's just the whole like scenario, like you're on a vacation and everything, and all of a sudden you're in an ambulance and there's a police officer asking you what happened. I don't know what happened. And like people on bikes, like calm down. Actually calm down. Like just chill. You don't need to be going fast. Just chill out. There might be old ladies with their grandkids walking around in parks, you know? And you don't want to send them flying. Oh, do you have any bad habits? I don't really know. I mean, I definitely do. A lot of people would probably say that drinking this is a pretty bad habit. It's an everyday type of habit. And I could possibly agree. Like, it's not great for you, but you know, sometimes. But I don't know if I have like bad habits. I don't know. I could sometimes think like if I get really like into a TV show or anything like that, I get like really into it and I don't stop watching it. Like I binge it, and I sometimes think that that's a little bit of a bad habit, because if you pace shows, I feel like they get better. But I can't not watch it. Like if it's available and I can watch it all at once, a lot of people would probably say that that's a bad habit. But I feel like it's also a bad habit that like everyone has, because everybody binges a show every now and then. What is the craziest thing you have done? That's a very good question. I don't know if I've done any like crazy things. I feel like my peak of crazy was probably when I ate the gingerbread house in kindergarten. It's one of like my favorite things that I did as a kid. Well, basically, this is how it was. We all helped out and we all made a gingerbread house, like all the kids. And then they were like, oh, okay, and we were like, okay, now we're gonna eat it. And they were like, no, we're gonna read a book first and like have nap time first. And I wasn't feeling that, and you know, my 3-year-old self, I don't know if I was actually 3, I think I was around that age, I wasn't feeling that. I didn't want to wait to eat that gingerbread house. And so basically I was like, yep, I need to go to the bathroom. And I think I actually, like, thinking back to it, I think I actually like went to the bathroom, or like I was actually gonna go to the bathroom, and then like at the corner of my eye, because to get to the bathroom from like the room where you were reading all the books, it was the kitchen, so you had to walk by the kitchen. I walked by the kitchen and I got to the toilet, and then I was just like, I kind of like took a sidestep and was like, it's right there. And like the little step stool that we had, like we used that, it was still in there, and we knew how to use that because we used it when we helped out, you know, making sandwiches and all of that. And we so I walk up to the toilet and I close the door so it looks like I'm in there. You know, I was a smart 3-year-old, you know, I was a great crime that I committed. I thought it through as well. And I was just like, you know what? No. And so then I get my little step stool that was there, and I just start picking all the candies off of the top. And then I think a piece of the ceiling came off, and I was like, ooh, I gotta eat that. So I broke it off fully. And then the whole ceiling basically caved in. And I was just like, well, gotta eat that now. Because if not, they'll figure it out. As if they weren't gonna figure it out. And eventually, after I basically, like, it took them time to come get me. Because I feel like I had finished, like, the whole ceiling. Like, I think I was like, there was just the walls left. And then they caught me. And they were so angry. And I remember because one of my kindergarten, like, teachers, she's my dad's brother's wife. And she had to, like, walk away and laugh. Because she was like, oh my, how could you put it so they could reach it? Like, put it on a high shelf where none of the kids can reach it. Like, it's such a rookie mistake to put it just down on the counter, because we all knew how to get there. Like, it could have been any of us. And I remember sitting on my little stool in the, like, dining room area afterwards, and this lady was just, like, yelling at me. Like, she was standing like, you can't do that, this was so mean, think of all the other kids, and basically, like, all of this. And she was so angry. And then my dad came to pick me up, and the lady that's married to my uncle, she basically gave him, like, a brief, like, this is what has happened. Like, because Dad was like, why is she on a, like, be ashamed chair? And so he was also like, because it's like, it's a gingerbread house. Like, we could make another one tomorrow. It wasn't like that big of a deal, even though, like, I understand that it was bad, but it's one of those, like, it's really funny afterwards. No, and then I remember just, like, once I saw him, I was like, okay, I'm going home anyway. So I remember just looking up at her and being like, you know what? I don't want to listen to you anymore. Like, can you imagine a 3-year-old saying that to you? Oh my god. Like, like, it hurts my soul. What was your dream job as a kid? Probably, like, just a singer or an actress. And I mean, if I could do that today, I would still do that, honestly. I wouldn't even blink. That kind of still stands. What is your favorite thing to order on Uber Eats? We don't have Uber Eats in Sweden, so I can't really answer that. How many countries have you traveled to? I don't know. A few. What do you do on your free time? This is basically my hobby at the moment. I paint, I sing, I basically do anything where I can express myself in some type of way. Have you been to any concerts or festivals? Which were the most memorable? I would probably say that the most, like, memorable one that I've been to was probably when we went to see Beyonce. I've been to more than that though. I mean, like most people in Sweden, I went to see One Direction every time they came to Sweden. They did 2 concerts one of the time. I didn't go to both, obviously. But I went to one every year they came here, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did. I did see the Believe tour when Justin came here. Festivals. I mean, Latitude, if that counts. I mean, it is a festival. It's just not, like, a known bigger festival. Like if you're not from the part of Sweden that I live, you don't really know what it is. Like it's not a known festival all over Sweden, you know? It's like a smaller one. And there's probably more, I'm just like forgetting which ones it is. What are your favorite values in friends? Loyalty, probably. And honesty, I would probably say. I mean, I don't really know. I feel like every friend you have like a different favorite quality because all people are different. What social media are you addicted to? I wouldn't really say that I'm like addicted to any social media, but the one I'm probably at the most is probably like most people, like YouTube, Snapchat, and Instagram. Mostly because it's like where I connect with, like Snapchat is more like keeping in contact with like friends and stuff. So I'm not sure, like I don't use that for social media purposes. Like that's more like keeping in contact purpose. Instagram is probably more just like looking through it. How do you get along with your family? I get along with my family really well. All of my family basically. We're all like tight. Who is your role model? I mean, if I'm gonna pick someone like around me, I would probably say like my grandma or my mom. Honestly, like they're just very strong people, you know? And it's just like, especially like my grandma, and when someone has lived like a life and they have so much like wisdom and everything, it's very like just inspiring, and it makes you like very happy that you get to be a part of their life as well, you know? You are going out with friends. Describe your night. Ooh, I mean, that's a good question. Describe your night? I don't know if I could. I mean, we just really like to go out, like just dancing. Some of us are, but like I'm not personally that heavy of a drinker. Like I don't go out to get drunk. It's not my thing. I don't enjoy doing that. That's not like my goal of the night. So I don't like go out to get drunk. I have some of my friends that probably like alcohol in a night out, but I really just enjoy to go out dancing, and I feel like most of us do, because I just feel like I'm kind of one of those people, like if you can't have fun without alcohol, you should definitely learn to, because that could be a problem for you in the long run. Like I get that it's fun, but I feel like we just go out dancing and try to have as much fun as we can while staying safe out there. We don't really get drunk to the point of blacking out, because that's not really most of us. Some of us do, but but not all of us. So I have run out of questions. Is there one I haven't answered? Dogs or cats? I haven't answered that one. I'm definitely a dog person over a cat person. If I were to choose an animal to have, I would definitely pick a dog. I have nothing against cats. I think cats can be really cute. It's just, I feel like you get so much more out of a dog. I feel like a dog is more of a like companion in a sense than a cat is. That's just my opinion. It doesn't mean you have to agree with me, okay? I feel like I didn't answer that many questions. Well, I'm just gonna finish up my makeup. So that's that. I've answered some questions. There was some of them that I really some of the questions that I just skipped because I didn't really have like an answer for them, but now you've learned some new stuff about me, and if you wanted to do that, that's great, and if you didn't, but that will be all for me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.